Hello and welcome again to the critically acclaimed Kilian Podcast. I'm here with my
brother.
I suppose he's not a guest. He's like a member of the podcast. So my partner, and this is Asheen.
Hey, how's it going? It's Asheen.
All right. So in our podcast today, we're going to be talking about a few movies. Some of them I cannot remember, and I cannot find a list of these movies anywhere, but I do remember at least two of them. So we're going to talk about those ones at least and just go in depth. So the first movie is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I've seen it probably like 3 times. Seen it in class, like my 3rd time seeing it, and it's one of my favorite movies. I really like how Walter has his whole zoning out thing, and he's always imagining like buildings exploding and stuff like that. Because I kind of can relate to that. Like I'm always in my own head daydreaming about something, and I zone out. So I think it's kind of like he's just like a cool character in my opinion.
Yeah, I really like the movie Walter White. I definitely say it's one of my...
Walter White?
I mean Walter Mitty. Walter Mitty is one of like my favorite. It's really good, and the zoning out parts, along with his like whole adventure he goes on, where he's like he keeps having these moments where he's like, my life is so boring, so he makes stuff up, but then he goes on a crazy adventure. And like he stops thinking about, he stops having all these crazy daydreams because now his life is just awesome and cool. He doesn't need the daydreams.
Well, I don't think it's so much that his life changed. I mean, like I guess it did change, but like I think like the experiences, like that he went through is what did it. Because I mean, I guess I'm just saying like I don't know if he kept going on those adventures after the end of the story. I feel like he kind of just returned to his normal life, but that adventure did still definitely help him. Yeah. Just a little interesting side note here, because we're talking about like adaptations or like which I mean is usually like from like a book to a movie, but in this case there's actually I didn't know this until a few weeks ago, but there's a Secret Life of Walter Mitty from 1947 starring Danny Kaye and Virginia Mayo. The cover looks like it's like straight out of the 50s. But yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. I haven't seen it, so I guess I can't really compare the two, but just interesting that like this, because I never knew that.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about how Walter Mitty deals with the concept of reality versus fantasy. So
you were saying?
Yeah, so Walter Mitty, in the beginning of the movie, he has all these weird like daydreams where he wants to get in a fight with this guy at work because he doesn't like his mojo, so he has this whole imaginary fight scene where the dude like wrestles him for this little doll guy. And there's another scene where he saves a dog from a building that's blowing up, and these scenes kind of like he doesn't really he's not really like happy with how his life is, and he uses these kinds of escapes from reality, making up these super eventful stories in his head to make himself feel like he's, doing something more than just being a boring newspaper guy. Even on his dating profile, he puts down like a bunch of like crazy things he's done. Whether they're true or not, I don't know.
No, he doesn't.
He does. He like the like CEO of the dating app like calls him. He's like, wow, this is a really impressive
Yeah, I mean, he does that after.
You saved a dude from a burning building?
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he did not.
He did.
No, he didn't, Asheen. Shut up for a second. He did not do that. He put that stuff on there after he went on the adventures. He wasn't lying about it.
Oh,
Before that,
right.
he was like... Because he called him, because he's like, oh, your eHarmony thing.
Well, I haven't seen the movie in, 4 years.
Oh, my God, bro.
But, yeah. He does do cool stuff. And he stops having those escape from reality moments. He starts to live in the moment and cherish what he has. And, even with the wallet, he threw that away. He's just such a bummed out guy. But he grew and became cool. And he, skated down a really big hill. And that was really awesome.
Except the only part of that wasn't awesome is that it wasn't really a hill. It was more of it almost looked like flat ground.
Well, it's hard to capture a hill in a...
I mean, I guess, but it did look quite flat, if I'm being honest with you.
He was power sliding and he had rocks and stuff.
Yeah, but it looked quite flat. Quite flat indeed. Which kind of relates to what I was going to talk about next, which is... how the cinematography, specifically in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, really shows how his zoning out and the scenes where it's not real things happening, when he's running past, or when he okay, for when he's running past all the Life covers of magazine and it starts to becoming him on the covers, or when he's I can't remember what his name was, but it was Escobar or something. When he's the sexy Chilean man who pops out of the wall and takes away whatever that girl's name was. Scenes like that, where it shows how real this stuff is to him almost, when it's really not. All right, moving on to our next movie here. I'm gonna be completely honest, I did forget the name of it, but it's the one with Will Ferrell. It was the last one that we watched. Where he's the IRS agent. Personally, I did not like this movie at all. I think that Will Ferrell's character wasn't redeeming at all. We're supposed to feel sympathy for him or something, or want him to want him to not die, but he doesn't actually do anything redeeming throughout the entire story to make us want to like him. He's kind of just this guy who's bad things are happening to him for no reason, which is kind of deserved because he's really annoying, and kind of creepy to this girl. I don't know why. That was also, I did not like how he why would that girl ever like him back when he was nothing but creepy and weird to her?
Forced romance.
Yeah, it was, the whole movie seemed really forced. And also the fact that in the end the author just decides to not kill him because I guess it's because she met him and she didn't want to kill someone, but I also feel like they try to make it seem like he re-gave her hope in humanity or something, when really this guy is just he's kind of just a whiny little baby, honestly.
Wait, so this author's like a Death Note character?
Well, the author, no, I don't really know. It's just an author that writes books about people who die in some stupid way, and she's really good or something. Or she's really famous, but it doesn't seem like she's killed, or at least she doesn't know about it, that she's killed anyone from writing a book before this. it honestly makes no sense. Like, it's not explained at all. This is another thing I didn't like about the movie, how they didn't explain, like, why he actually started hearing the voice of this girl. Like, he kind of just, one day, randomly, he just starts hearing the narrator, and she says that he's gonna die. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Ashin. Basically the whole plot of the movie is that it's like this perfect guy, and he's just living his life, and then suddenly he hears this girl narrating his life, and then she says that he's gonna die, and he's like, what? So he kind of freaks out, and then he's like, the rest of the movie is him trying to find the girl, and also trying to like make move. Trying to make moves on this other girl at this bakery who he has to like audit, who falls in love with him by the end of the movie for no reason at all.
Why would you fall in love with your tax collector?
No clue at all. That has to be illegal, in some way, like to date someone that you like. That has to be illegal.
Maybe you don't have to pay taxes if you date him.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, that's why it might be illegal or something. But this movie was definitely more. It had more like existential themes, because the whole movie's about like this guy who doesn't want to die, right? And then at the end, he kind of accepts his death because he meets the author and he reads the book that she wrote about him. And the only part that she hasn't written is the ending, which is when he dies. And once he meets the author and reads the book, he's like, okay, I'll die.
Maybe I should
which
die.
Which is honestly the wisest thing anybody has said in that entire movie. The wisest thing anybody's ever done is when he accepted his death. She should have just killed him at that point. But she decides to write his death out of the book, and basically she makes, for some reason, her book, like, it's only good if someone dies in it, or that's what they make it seem like throughout the movie, which doesn't make any sense. I guess it's because she's, like, known for writing tragedies, but, like, at the end, when she writes his death out of the book, like, her book gets, like, terrible reviews, pretty much. Like, for no reason. I think that was pretty stupid, too. And overall, just, like, it was an interesting concept, but what a poorly done movie. Like, and also, Will Ferrell's acting is kind of terrible. He just has, like, the same face on him the entire time. Like, he has, like, 3 expressions, which really just set me off. I just didn't enjoy this movie. Didn't make sense, was forced, and all that. These movies that we've talked about are similar in a lot of ways, but it's kind of good to compare them because, like, I feel like they're both really about the same thing. Just Walter Mitty's is done so much better. It's, like, both about, like, this guy, mundane life. I mean, I suppose in Walter Mitty he kind of has, like, a thirst for more, but I don't really think we really see that in the other one. He kind of just wants to be a tax collector. But, like, mundane life, and then they, like, change, or, like, throughout the story they, like, learn, like, how Walter Mitty stopped daydreaming, and, like, how Will Ferrell stopped counting, like, all the times that he brushed his teeth or whatever, and doing all of his, like, exactness and stuff. How they both, like, went through this normal to, like, happier, like more true form of themselves. Like, they really, like, both of the movies are really just about, like, growth, in the end. But Walter Mitty is just done so much better. So much better. It's actually like unbelievably better. To wrap up our podcast here, I mean, that's pretty much it. Just gonna say goodbye, and that's it. You have anything else to say, Oshin?
Yeah, I liked Walter Mitty. I did not like the Willem Ferrell movie.
You never even seen it.
Well, I can tell I don't like it. Thank you for coming to our podcast. This is Asheen. Goodbye.
This is Kilian signing out.